Welcome everyone to the program. This is how your business day gets started every weekday here on Channels Television, Nigeria's news leader. I am Bosin Mafayemwe, live to you from Lagos, Nigeria's financial epicenter and the home of all the financial markets, head office. And of course, today is a very big day, the final Capital Markets Committee meeting by the Securities and Exchange Commission. Is the biggest gathering every quarter of the year, 4 times a year. All the Securities and Exchange Commission brings together the Nigerian Stock Exchange, the FMDQ, the NESD over-the-counter, all the securities market dealers, investment banks, solicitors, financial advisors, reporting accountants, lawyers in the market, the registrars, everyone, hundreds of them. Today starts there. One day this morning, Capital Market Committee meeting is essentially to discuss the state of the securities market, and everyone will have their say and look at the roadmap that has been pursued, the 10-year roadmap that was rolled out 2 years ago by the SEC. That's the big story today. Downtown Lagos, everyone is there right now as we speak, taking a look at the state of the market as we wrap up 2017. And again, tomorrow, the SEC team will remain in Lagos with a number of individuals who are big wigs in the economy and the market to discuss the lessons from Budget 2017 for 2018, brand new appropriations presented on Tuesday to the National Assembly by President Muhammadu Buhari. So tomorrow we have the SEC have lined up a faculty that include Bismarck Rewane, the CEO at Financial Derivatives, Professor Jalingo, from the Bayero University. Mrs. Jalingo is joining them. Dr. Samsudin Usman, one-time national planning minister and a former banker, managing director at Nal Merchant Bank, if you remember that bank in those days. Dr. Samsudin Usman is joining the team tomorrow, also in Lagos, to discuss the lessons of 2018 budget, in particular, bringing it down to the market street. The SEC is holding that tomorrow as well. So it's a busy day for the Securities Commission, Thursday as well as tomorrow. You don't want to miss that. Then today, the Finance Ministry, central bank officials and others are holding an interactive meeting with the commercial traders, and the venue is at the Trade Fair Complex. The government agencies are on the road getting the commercial traders to buy into the various economic recovery and plans by the administration. And Kemi Adeosun, the finance chief, is the one leading that today with a number of private sector economists and analysts are all meeting there from 10 o'clock about this time. And also downtown today, Nigeria Shippers Council is putting together a one-day interactive forum to sell its new multi-million-dollar idea of a truck transit park. It's called a TTP, 9 of them that will be built across Nigeria. So we have today at this interactive forum, the Nigerian Stock Exchange being the home of capitalism. The National Insurance Commission, insurance is involved, where you're going to park hundreds of trucks and providing other amenities for them. Then you have the Transport Ministry, which is the midwife of the entire transport infrastructure in Nigeria. Of course, also attending is the ICRC, the agency responsible for regulating infrastructure concessions in Nigeria. The Director General is there, and of course the head of the Corps Marshal of the head of the FRSC to talk about the sensitization needed for those in the transport industry. Then we've got from West Africa the head of the Equities Bank and other stakeholders, and they're all sitting together today to discuss the various aspects of this new initiative, the first ever in Nigeria. That was what the head of the Nigeria Shippers Council spoke to in a one-on-one interview last week with Arun Temple Ashaju about this when they came to the stock exchange to close the market and put the toe in the water, asking the capital market to support this initiative, how to fund this new TTP. Then yesterday evening, the Nigerian government faulted the sovereign issuer rating downgrading from B1 stable to B2 by Moodys Investor Services. The Debt Management Office issued a statement on behalf of the Finance Ministry and the Central Bank of Nigeria, blaming or faulting, rather, the premise for the rating downgrade of Nigeria. And they said that premise was faulty by Moodys Investor Services. And they added that Nigeria, since last rating in December last year, the country has been working really hard to ensure that all the issues raised, in particular relating to revenue, debt to GDP ratio, and other structural issues mentioned in the Moodys report have been addressed. Says it was wrong to downgrade Nigeria and cut its rating to B2, as was announced late Wednesday by Moodys Investor Services, which is one of the three largest rating agencies in the world. That's the news this morning. Let's go to the marketplace. Let's check through with the stock market. We have the industrial goods made a comeback on Wednesday, I beg your pardon. The consumer goods also made a comeback, and that helped the broader market. We're crossed now back. We got our 37,000 psychological broad index level back yesterday, 37,138.97. That's quite really good. 12.85 trillion naira in terms of the total market value. In volume terms, we were seriously underwater. On Wednesday, less than 200 million shares were traded for less than 2 billion naira in about 4,000 transactions. However, the appetite of investors, when you take that away and bring in the second page, the next page, there you find that investors were a little bit optimistic about the consumer goods and industrial goods. The bank lost about 0.2%. Oil and gas was unchanged, despite some news around CEPLAT. And then the insurance followed their big brother, the banks, in the red territory. Let's step into the over-the-counter market. That's